Good evening and welcome to the Vision of Hope Show. I am your host and your producer, Debra Ringo. We have a fabulous show for you tonight. I want you to tune in, sit back and relax. Matter of fact, give your friend a call. Give them a text or give them an email. Why not inbox them? Because we have a wonderful, fabulous, magnificent guest tonight. And her name is Kendra Quinn-Ward. Here we go. Hey, Kendra.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. Welcome to the Vision of Hope Show. We've been trying to do this, and here we are.
I'm so glad I finally made it.
Yes, and I'm so excited. I'm excited for my audience because we got a very good show, very informative, and I want them to. This is the reason we're here.
Yeah,
is to help the community. Everybody's struggling with something in life.
Absolutely.
You know, and whether we are struggling now or not, we've had struggles.
Yes.
So we want to come and help them in any area that we can.
Okay.
And we want to talk tonight to you about, we're going to talk about being a successful entrepreneur, or why become an entrepreneur? Why? You know, what is the reason that you decided to become an entrepreneur?
So the main reason I decided to go into business for myself and become an entrepreneur was I really wanted to have freedom. And I found that working for others meant that I had to stick to their schedule, meant that when I wanted to go on vacation, I had to ask for permission. And that I really didn't have control over how much I worked or how much money I made.
Right.
And I decided that I wanted to take the leap and try to really get to a place where I could truly be free. And for me, that meant working for myself.
Okay, awesome. That's what entrepreneurship does and gives you.
Absolutely.
Now, if you could just give us just a brief background of where you come from. And yes.
So, born and raised in the Hartford area, went to schools in Bloomfield and in Hartford. I went to Bloomfield High School and to the Greater Hartford Academy of the Performing Arts. Left here when I was about 18 to go to college. Lived all over the United States, up and down the East Coast, in the Midwest. And finally made my way back home about 5.5 years ago.
Okay.
And that's when I decided to open Z Luxury. And so in the spring of 2013, Z Luxury opened its doors in West Hartford.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now I have a question. And I've always wondered this, but I think to ask it is fitting right now.
Okay.
How did you get the name Z Luxury? Yes.
So it was a difficult journey trying to figure out what to name the business.
Yes.
And initially, I really thought long and hard about the fact that I wanted it to have a name that really stood out. So a name that people would remember.
Right.
And met with a few marketing consultants, and one talked about how letters really helped businesses stand out, you know, just one single letter.
Wow.
So there were a number of salons in the California area and in New York called like the A House, A Gallery, Z Shop. And so I went through the alphabet and none of the letters really felt right to me until I got to the letter Z. And then did a lot of research around the letter Z and found out that that letter is one of the most rarely seen letters, especially in the English language. And so right away I kind of thought like, okay, so that's going to stand out, right? Because you don't see it a lot. And then when I saw it in cursive, it was beautiful. When I saw it in print, it was gorgeous. And it just fell right in with the logo. And it's the last letter of the alphabet, right?
Yes.
So I'm like, we are definitely it when it comes to luxury. So, we're where you want to be. And I think that letter Z really makes that statement. So that's how we came up with Z Luxury.
Wonderful. I could see and hear in you that you did a lot of research before you put that out there. Because you knew that a letter existed in another state. So you really put something into that before you put that name up on your business.
Yeah, and as family and friends, I shopped it around to people just to say, what do you think about this? How do you feel about it? And one of my friends said, every time I say Z Luxury, I feel I'm smiling when I say it. And so that really resonated with me because I want my clients to always feel, happy when they think about Z Luxury. It worked.
So it just worked all the way around. Yes. I love it. I think it's quite fitting and it's different.
Yes.
It's very unique.
Yeah.
And those of you that are listening, the location of Z Luxury is
361 Park Road in West Hartford, Connecticut.
Okay.
Yeah. Right off the highway. We're right off exit 43.
And it is a luxury place. I'm here to tell you.
Thank you.
It's very, I mean, the atmosphere is just inviting and it's very positive and it's very laid back and it has a taste to it that you almost can't put in words. But there's a lot of luxury and elegance, and even in having your nails done there, it's like you're so relaxed and you just want to hang around, because of the atmosphere. It's very inviting.
Yeah, that was very purposeful because I spent a lot of time working in other nail salons and then also just going to get my nails done in salons, and felt like when I would go and get a manicure or a mani-pedi that I wasn't really being pampered, that it kind of was like a rush job trying to get me in and out. There was a lot of noise and hustle and bustle because they were walking, so there were people in and out all of the time, and it just didn't feel like an experience where I was able to relax. And I feel like when you get a manicure and a pedicure, that is a time for you to take care of yourself and to really have that downtime and be able to relax. So I wanted to create an environment in which people felt as though when they came to get a manicure that it was a very serene environment with nice music playing in the background, great conversation, and that their time was really their time. So that's part of the reason why we do by appointment only, so that when you come in, you don't feel rushed, and if someone else is coming in, you don't feel like I'm going to try to rush you out of the chair to get them in, but you know that your time is your time. So,
and that is so important. And it really says that you're really into the customer.
Absolutely.
That the customer's time is important.
Absolutely.
Your schedule, and I love the fact of having a scheduled appointment, because anytime I walk through the door, I'm ready. It's ready. It's I don't have to sit and wait. And even if you did from time to time, it's okay.
Right.
But when it's all the time, or you got to jump in the chair, you got somebody leaving the chair to go work on this and then come back to you, something is wrong with the picture.
Right.
So what we're trying to also put before the people today is to say that there is a place that offers status of class.
Yes.
If you're looking for a place that is successful in what they do, and not just the business itself, but also in the people that come to the business.
Right.
The people that are faithful to come to your business, that matters to you.
Absolutely.
And it shows. So we want you to also know, not only is she a successful entrepreneur, but also she's successful at taking care of her clients.
Yes.
And that's, believe me, it's the truth. So if you're looking for a place to be pampered and to be, just be able to relax and your time to be, that your time counts, and you just want to come in and I just want my nails done. I just want my feet done. And sometimes you may talk a little bit, but it ain't talking the whole time because again, it's your time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you want to kind of embrace it and get into it, and you're allowed to do that. And if you're looking for that, Z Luxury is the place. It's the place. I'm enjoying this already. I really am. And I want to thank you again for coming and being here. I think this is very, very beneficial for my audience there. And I think they're going to gain a lot. Before we close, we're going to ask her to give her email address, and we're going to again give you the address and the phone number.
Yeah. And
she's online as well.
Absolutely.
That you can make your appointments and listen. You make your appointments online. And it's
high tech.
Yes. So we're gonna move on. And how did you decide? Well, you did kind of touch on it a little bit. How you decided to become an entrepreneur, and with your decision, was there a time where you felt like, oh no, this ain't gonna work?
So there wasn't a time where I felt like it wasn't going to work.
There wasn't.
There wasn't a time.
Wasn't.
No. There wasn't a time where I felt like it wasn't going to work. Okay. There were moments in which I was scared, nervous, anxious. Yeah, of course. Those times definitely existed. And I just think like with anything, with any new venture, any new thing you're starting, there's always going to be some sort of, anxiety or, doubt around, what if this doesn't work out, or how am I going to make this successful, right?
Right.
And so I had to do a lot of digging, inside and having, conversations with myself about what it was that I wanted to accomplish. When I was really clear about that, the fact that I wanted to be my own boss, that I wanted to provide employment opportunities for other women, especially other women that look like me, that I wanted to create an environment where clients would come and truly feel pampered and feel respected, because I think oftentimes when we go to some other businesses, we often feel as though they are not necessarily respecting us at times, and it's just about taking our money. So I wanted to create an environment in which we felt respected, we were felt like we could be pampered, and then a place where women and men also, but people could just feel as though they could come and create a community, and not only to support and grow my business, but to support and grow other businesses. And so when I was really clear about what I wanted to do, I decided that it was going to happen, and I was going to put everything I had into it and give it 100%. And my mom taught me from the time I was a very little girl that if I gave 100% in whatever I did, then it was going to work. So then I was confident, I knew that I had the heart and that I was going to give it everything. So I knew that there was no way that it was going to fail. So,
I love everything you're saying, and it's very helpful. But what I really love is that I'm hearing you say you took time to research you.
Yes, absolutely.
And so many times we don't.
Yes.
We just kind of, the excitement of it sometimes makes us leap too fast, But along with that, there's homework that needs to be done. And it's not just finding the building. It's just not finding the employees. It's just not, putting up the sign. It's not just making the business cards, but it's also making sure that you can take on the challenge of this business.
Yes.
Because truly there's challenges every day. And I know you've been in business for
4.5 years.
For 4.5 years. So some things you've mastered. And some things I'm sure
I have not.
You have not.
Absolutely.
And that's, as they could say, that's on the real tip. You know what I mean? Because that's the way it is. Even if you're working for somebody, you're still some things you are very comfortable with and you just flow in, and some things you still hit your head up against the wall because you're still trying to get to a certain level in the business. But what I love about it also is that you said you were told from a little girl that if you put in 100%, that you would get out what you put in. And you remembered this and you applied this. And that was your confidence. And a lot of times we are lacking that. We're lacking that because a lot of people weren't told what you were told. A lot of people were told you would never make it. You would never be able to do it. But their heart is saying, I can do it. But the confidence level is so low because you're hearing in your mind, that you can't. Yeah. But I guarantee you, if you keep at it, if you keep going and you get yourself around the right people, and I'm sure, like you said, you even got your family's opinion on the name for the business. Right. So then you went for support. So if you go for support, then you will be able to overcome some of those hurdles that's trying to keep you from, going on and running with it. Yes. And then the other piece that I like is that I want you to just share with us. I like the fact that you mentioned that you were scared at times, you were anxious, and you were nervous. Here we go. We're talking to a real person. Yes. We're talking to a real woman. Yeah. Successful, but real. Successful, but I'm sure there's been times when you felt like, well, you said you didn't feel like giving up, but maybe you were nervous, so you were scared. So there were some things that you had to deal with that was not the right energy. So then you had to flip that. And you flipped that because you didn't stop. Right. And that turned that into success. And the other thing I want you to talk to us about is we're learning a lot about your business as you're talking, which is good. You are more than just in-house. Yes. But you travel. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So actually, when the business first started, we did not have a salon. It was mobile. So we would go to your home, your place of business. We did mobile spa parties for kids, for bridal parties. And after about 3 or 4 months, clients started saying, oh my God, I really love this. I love everything you're doing. I love the service you're providing. You need to have a salon. And so quickly it happened. And I'm so glad that it did because business was able to grow in a whole nother way. Right, because once we had an actual location, we were able to not only provide nail services, but now we provide nail art classes for kids from the community. We also have handmade jewelry that we sell in the salon. And more recently, we just started with our Z Luxury eco-friendly soy candle line. So we're able to do all these things that we weren't able to do without having an actual facility, without actually having a salon. Right. But the mobile piece is really awesome because we can provide services to people who may not be able to come into the salon. So if someone, was just in the hospital, or someone is still in the hospital or in a rehabilitation center, we have a few clients that are in the retirement home facilities, and so we go to them a few times a month to give them their, manicures and pedicures. So it's really awesome that we can provide that service, especially for people in the community that are elderly, women who have always, gone to the salon to get manicures and pedicures, and now because they're not as mobile, they're not able to do that, and so we're able to now provide that service to them. So it's an amazing thing, and we actually really love doing that because they are so appreciative, and it's just awesome because no matter what your age, you still need to be able to feel beautiful and feel pampered, and so they're able to have that,
That is so personable. It says if you can't come to me, I can come to you. Right. I can bring my service to you. Yes. That is such a great addition to have, to be able to offer. Yeah. And as you were saying that, and to hear you saying that's where you started, I begin to think about you begin to build from something. Yes. And you built from being mobile, traveling, doing what you had to do to become who you are today. Yes, yeah. So there again, people, if you got to, some people, they sell CDs out their cars. Why are you selling CDs out your car? Because they might have a dream. They might be trying to get somewhere.
Absolutely.
So whatever you have to do that is legit to promote your business before you get to the ultimate, place or the ultimate goal, let's do that.
Yes.
It works. I mean, we have a successful entrepreneur right here. It works. Yes. Also, let me say I'm real excited. I'm real excited. So you've told us about your business, and we heard a lot of the pros. Now, what would be some of the con side, some of the side that's not so pretty?
So, with anything that's new,
right.
You are learning as you go. So you have to be able to embrace the fact that you're going to make mistakes and not beat yourself up about it. You have to be able to say, I'm not going to be perfect at everything, but accept responsibility and accountability, because people are always going to be way more forgiving if you say, I'm sorry, I made a mistake, and I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that, I make it right.
Right.
So I think that I was always pretty confident in myself. So with self-confidence comes the ability to accept when you've made a mistake or when you may not know something. And so you're able to then ask a question and not feel a way about the fact that you may not know something. So I think that is one of the things that I see happening with a lot of entrepreneurs, is that it becomes very difficult for people to accept the fact that they may not know everything. And so people try to hide the fact that they don't know something instead of asking questions and being honest. And so in the very beginning, I just made sure that I was very open with the fact that I didn't know what I was doing when it came to the business side. So I reached out for support. I went to cosmetology school, so I knew how to do nails. And I'd done a lot of research around natural nail care, so I was really confident in my ability to educate my staff and to educate others, my clients. But the business side of it, I didn't know that. I didn't know how to do the accounting. So I had to ask for support and get help. And I think that is really important, is making sure that you're asking those questions and you're reaching out to supportive people. In business in general, you have to deal with the fact that everyone isn't going to love you. Everyone isn't going to love your business. Everyone isn't going to love your service. And that's okay, but you have to learn to embrace that. And I think that often we get caught up in feeling like, oh, well, someone didn't come and support my business, and so now I'm upset and I feel a way about it. And that can really do damage to your business. And so you have to be really careful about the way that you process some of that, in that you're really understanding that everything isn't for everybody, but that you've created a business, and that hopefully you'll get the support from the people that you created the business for, and that you're doing your best every day. And if people see that you're really passionate about what you're doing, then you'll get the support and you'll become successful.
Awesome. Because and I wanted the audience to know that there is always another side to whatever you do. But the goal, the key thing is, like you're saying, you got support. You recognize that you didn't know the business part, but you knew the business. But you didn't know the business part of it. So you sought the help that you needed for that. So in whatever you're doing, you may not know everything. Like you said, everything. And that's okay. Because you're still learning as you go. You're still learning, but in the process, don't stop building on, or don't let that deter you from moving forward. Also, we want to just wrap it up right now and say thank you so much for being on the Vision of Hope show.
No problem.
And also that just tell us that you're Best of Hartford Magazine for how many years?
For 2 years.
What years?
2016 and 2017.
2016 and 2017. What business?
Z Luxury Nails.
Was the what?
The Best of Hartford.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
This has been the Vision of Hope show, and we thank you, Kendra, for being here at Z Luxury.
You.
Don't forget it. And also, online when the show airs, you'll see her email address and her phone number of the business. Remember, this has been the Vision of Hope, and I am your host and your producer, Debra Ringo. Remember, you can make it.